All right. Senator Carl Levin, Democrat of Michigan, poses this question to Brennan. You've said publicly that you believe waterboarding is inconsistent with American values. It's something that should be prohibited. It goes beyond the bounds of what a civilized society should employ. My question is this. In your opinion, does waterboarding constitute torture?
The Attorney General has referred to waterboarding as torture. Many people have referred to it as torture. Attorney General, premier, law enforcement officer and lawyer of this country. And as you well know, and as we've had the discussion, Senator, the term torture has a lot of legal and political implications. It is something that should have been banned long ago. It never should have taken place, in my view. And therefore, if I were to go to CIA, it would never, in fact, be brought back.
Do you have a personal opinion as to whether waterboarding is torture?
I have a personal opinion that waterboarding is reprehensible and it's something that should not be done. And again, I am not a lawyer, Senator, and I can't address that question.
Well, you've read opinions as to whether or not waterboarding is torture, and I'm just saying, do you accept those opinions of the Attorney General? That's my question.
Well, Senator, I've read a lot of legal opinions. I read an Office of Legal Counsel opinion in the previous administration that said, in fact, waterboarding could be used. So from the standpoint of that, I cannot point to a single legal document on this issue. But as far as I'm concerned, waterboarding is something that never should have been employed, and as far as I'm concerned, never will be if I have anything to do with it.
If I have anything to do with it. Just remember, back in 2007, Brennan was 100% in favor of simulated drowning, waterboarding, telling CBS News, quote, there has been a lot of information that has come out from these interrogation procedures that the agency, the CIA, has in fact used against the real hardcore terrorists. It has saved lives, end quote. Talk about a giant flip-flop. Now, of course, his rationale is what he said earlier in his testimony, that when he was quoted in 2007 that there was valuable intelligence that came out of those interrogation sessions, he was misled. He said, I must tell you, Senator, reading this report from the committee raises questions about the information that I was given at the time and the impression I had at that time. Oh, poor baby. Really? I mean, is that what we're supposed to believe here? And of course we are. And of course the Republican swine are more than happy to encourage that belief, and the Democratic swine are more than happy to let it slide. And what we are supposed to believe is that John Brennan, who has served as a consigliere for 2 administrations now, where it concerns drone strikes, targeted assassinations, collateral damage, using the technique called waterboarding as torture, extracting information from people. And you know what? Is waterboarding the only torture we use? I don't think so. So here sits this man, willing to sit there and lie to a Senate panel that is willing to lie back at him. And who gets tossed out of the hearing room? The only people who were there to bear witness to the truth. The Code Pink citizens. You talk about through the looking glass, huh? But this is nothing new. I mean, I don't mean to belabor the point here that all of a sudden we have witnesses who are seeking positions like defense secretary or head of the CIA or joint chiefs of staff or whatever it is. I guess they don't have to go through a Senate confirmation hearing, do they? Supreme Court justice nominees. I don't mean to imply for a second that for the first time in the past 25 or 30 years and I don't want to go back any further than that, we are hearing witnesses who are lying. What about the Senate Judiciary Committee hearings on the nomination of Uncle Clarence Thomas? Do you remember that? I mean, we have a Supreme Court justice who sat there and lied his ass off just over and over and over again. And then used a favorite tactic, and that is the best defense is a good offense. I am the subject of a high-tech lynching, he said, using language, sure, to get the attention of the white boys on the Senate Judiciary Committee. So, no implication on my part that this is the first time that a witness for an extremely important position of power in the government of the United States, whether under the control of a Democrat or a Republican, that's the first time they've lied. It is not. It's just that the lies have become more egregious, and the lies have become more facile. What's the word that George Bush used to use? Facile. The lies have become more facile and easier to slip through the lips of the witnesses. And Dianne Feinstein, all right, I've had enough. That's 5 times. I'm going to clear the room. We need to get rid of these people. We're going to clear the room and allow them to come back in one at a time. And we're going to put them through a special screening device that checks to see if they have a soul. If they have a soul, they're not coming in. If they have a sense of morality, they're not coming in. If they are ethical people, they're not coming in. That'll get rid of you goddamn cold pink people, won't it?